Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Wild Talk where we go through everything Warriors. This week we're going to go through the game against the Roosters. We played at Mount Smart. This is only just coming off the game. I've legit just finished it. I have not gone back and rewatched it or anything like that, so this is very raw, straight up. This is how I feel about that game. So if you enjoy this sort of content, please make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. So the boys go down to the Roosters at Mount Smart Stadium, 14-0 in an affair where like the rain was fucking hectic. I'll let you know that. It was just, the weather was so horrendous out there. I thought the boys put in a whole lot of effort. This is not going to be a doom or gloom sort of video and all that sort of stuff. I still took a lot of big positives out of this performance. Obviously, we are still running with a whole lot of injuries, and I expected this to be a very tough game for us. But a couple of negatives to start off the video, and I just want to get it out of the way because you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make this all negative and that. Just the ruck speed wasn't to where we wanted it to be in this one. I think the Roosters really played a very hard defensive game plan where they held us quite a bit in the ruck. We couldn't really find our feet, and I feel like players like Jazzy and all that sort of stuff really helped that ruck there, really build our momentum and stuff like that. So we really did miss boys like Jazzy and Chance and all that sort of stuff here. But also the biggest one was 70% completion rate, which really did not help us towards the end of the game. I thought in the first half we were fucking amazing. May as well talk about the game now as we go through it. I thought the first half our game plan was sick. We were solid. Obviously, we did not get over the stripe, and Nat Butcher was lucky to get over the strike that time, where it was a very nice short ball from Victor Radley close to the line for Nat Butcher. I thought defensively we did okay there. We numbered up. Obviously, it was just a one-on-one tackle there. Dylan Walker and Vilea had to try and cover there. Pretty unfortunate circumstances in that one, especially of how hard we worked in that contest. But even before that, I felt like we just missed a whole lot of opportunities. We had a whole lot of ball on their line. We got the ball in a really good field position and good moments. I felt like at the start of the game, the Roosters were finding a lot more in our side of the field and all that sort of stuff. We turned the momentum pretty well, and that came off the back of Shawnee's kicking game. We'll touch on Shawnee's kicking game while we're at it right now, and I thought it was A1 for the most of it, maybe like a B+. There was a couple of wayward kicks there, but he, like, for the most of the game, amazing kicking game. He got us some like really nice repeat set. And in this moment as well, he really helped us turn the game into our favor in that first half, really. I think as overall, I just honestly got to give props to the Roosters and their defensive game in this one. I thought they were really, really good. They held very strong, especially with all the opportunities the Warriors got close to their line, all that sort of stuff. And I thought, you know, I didn't think our game plan was too bad. Obviously, we did miss, like, you know, Chance, Tohu, Jazzy, players like that really help us in the middle of the ruck there. And also they help out, like, our sets look a little bit more crispier, even though in this game I didn't feel like we'll probably attack that like that a little bit more. But if we had someone like Jazzy or a Tohu or something like that that really shore up that middle a little bit better, I thought we would have had better opportunities here. But again, as I'm just noting down, so many of the opportunities that we missed in this one, it really did look like we had a lot of this game in our favor. It's just we couldn't get over the line. Roosters defense, a little bit of errors, obviously 70% possession rate, but that's really what came down to it in this game. So I'll touch on the opportunities. Obviously the big ones. So Curran on an unders line. There was a couple of times where Curran got pulled back on an unders line. Looked really, really nice there. Curran on a short ball. He had a really nice short ball from Shawnee where he had some footwork on the line on an overs line. Looked really, really good there. Nearly came out the other end. Lucky Teddy was there and he tripped over his own feet a little bit. There was a beautiful grubber for Pompey. Pompey got pretty close on a grubber there. Dallin Watini-Zelezniak got close on another grubber that ended up being touching his hand, and they had to repeat the set there and all that sort of stuff. Had some nice moments from Jackson forward, but also unfortunate to lose that one-on-one one that he had probably his best opportunity against Joey Manu going through the line, and Joey just like wrapping the ball up as best as he can, and Jackson really losing the ball over the line there. There was a couple of times, there was another time there, Jackson got over the line, had some big opportunities there, but just wasn't able to happen. And obviously there was a grubber for Joshy Curran at one stage in that second half. That was really, really close as well. And then a great kick from Dylan Walker to DWZ, but Teddy was just there to cover. And a lot of these times it was just really big cover tackles from the Roosters. I did feel like in that second half, Brendan Smith definitely changed the game when he came back on after a little stint off. Victor Radley came into the halfback, into hooker towards the end of the second half. That's the reason why Nat Butcher got that try at the 34th minute ruck, and then a little bit after that. And then when Brendan Smith came on, I thought he put some really big shots on some boys there, causing one error. I can't remember who had the ball there. I think it was on Bunty or Vilea. Someone had it. I noted down there was a couple of errors coming out our back end. Where in the second half, we were starting to build momentum. We held the Roosters out, and it just got them back in. And really unfortunate with like a couple of big ones. Obviously, that one that Everyone's calling the Tupanua shoulder charge. To be honest, this is coming from like a wholehearted Warriors fan, and if all the Warriors fans want to fucking grill me for thinking this way, it is what it is. But honestly, I like to see that tackle still in the game. Like to me, that was like, if you want to give it to like what they usually call a shoulder charge there. It is what it is. But I thought it was just a solid tackle. It did have like intentions. He had an arm out, like intentions to wrap up, whatever you want to fucking call it. But it is what it is. I don't really want to touch on too much of the hard calls with the Warriors in this one, because I feel like a lot of what gets us really upset is just the back to back fucking like really bad calls within every game. And it's the reason why Warriors fans really come out and just like feel like we're really hard done by. Like, we just came off a game against the Melbourne Storm, and it just amplifies some of the big reffing errors in this game, which I didn't think the ref wasn't too bad in this one. Obviously, I would have loved to see a bit more like six goes or something coming into the ruck, because I felt like the Roosters were lying down on us quite a bit in this one. But again, I thought, I think the penalty count was pretty even. Obviously, the big ones was Teddy dropping that ball. Like, I don't know how they missed that, but it is what it is. But the one we got back on, I think Jackson Buller, I don't know if he put his foot out to touch where he threw it back in. I don't think they were going to score off that or anything like that, but you know what I mean? Like, it went either way in a way. Obviously, as a Warriors fan, I would have loved to see more calls go our way. Coming off a game like Melbourne Storm, it's just like when we see big calls that go against us again, we're just going to be arcing up. And I think that's really what's happening at the moment. It's really unfortunate. And it's also like, if you touch on, I've listened to Rugby League Guru. He had an amazing podcast on the Warriors and us getting RTS, but he also spoke about how we should have been repaid for what we done for the last couple of years. I don't want to touch on, like, I don't want our team to be like, like we need to be like this and that. But, it was nice to see someone that wasn't a Warriors fan, that wasn't just like against us and say, it is what it is. Like, a lot of people work away and all that sort of stuff. It's like, it's not what the game is, man. Like, yeah, I don't want to touch on that too much. But yeah, shout out to Rugby League Guru. He definitely pointed out some things, obviously. The road trips we've been doing the last couple of weeks, I think we got like some of the biggest road trips this year. Obviously, we got another road trip to go to Brisbane, which is a long flight from Auckland. So another big flight, and we're versing the Panthers coming off a loss against the Tigers. So you just know the Panthers will be humming for this one. And again, it feels like we're just a bounce back team at the moment, which is really unfortunate, because I feel like we're playing really good football, but now coming off like 2 losses here, it does not look like that on the ladder, even though we did start the season really, really well, and we picked up some really good wins. It really frustrates me seeing like other maybe content creators or other people and like saying that we aren't playing that great. Like, a lot of them, I give props to probably 80% of good content creators and all that sort of stuff, saying have a very good season to start with and that. And when you actually watch our games, we are in every game. It's just our game plans change. We're not the old Warriors where we're like fast fleeted, big cutout balls. We have a little bit of that, but we're mostly a very high percentage, like the Dolphins, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people probably don't give credit to the Dolphins, but their game plan is solid, and our game plan is solid. This is what keeps us in games like this. And I felt like in moments we could have changed this game around, especially that due to our game plan solely. A couple of things didn't go our way, which was like penalties and errors, but then not really penalties, but more so errors on our end of the footy. We could have changed this game. So, and the same thing happened against the Knights. We started really slow and a couple of errors, this and that, but I really think the boys are playing great football, especially for the troops we have on the field, comparatively to a whole lot of other teams in this competition. I feel like we are in the 8 right now. We may drop out of the 8 next week, especially coming up against the Panthers team. We're going to have to work really hard in that contest. We usually go pretty well at Suncorp Stadium every time I've gone to see the boys at Suncorp. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get tickets for Magic Round because that sold out so fucking quick, which is so unfortunate. But I will be watching and cheering the boys from my lounge room, from my screen. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just shout out to the boys. You've been putting a whole lot of effort in, and it's showing. Like, coming up soon, Luke Metcalf's looking good. He's coming back into training, all that sort of stuff. We got, obviously, Jazzy to come back. I think Jazzy's out for quite a bit of time, actually, which is pretty unfortunate. But we got Tohu to come back soon. We got a couple other big ins coming back. I think Tohu's knee injury hopefully isn't too bad. So hopefully another couple of weeks and all that sort of stuff, we'll see him back. Again, Chancey should be back, not next week, judging by that 11-day stand down. Hopefully, if we get an exemption there, who knows? But yeah, it's just been an unfortunate period for our football. And then after it, we versus the Doggies, so we road trip again, and then we're not from home. So we get a nice bye in between there, and then we should have some nice wins, hopefully, between that origin period. And this is where all our hard work to start the season is going to go well. during that origin period where we usually do pick up a 1 or 2 wins here and there, that will do us very, very nicely coming into the back end of this year. So shout out to the boys. Hopefully we go really well coming into next week's against Panthers and just show the grit and determination that we have as a team at the moment. Thank you so much, guys. Please comment down below your thoughts on the game and your thoughts overall on the boys. Shout out to everyone out there. Peace out. Take it easy.